take it away.
Thank you. Hello. How's everyone doing? So, as was mentioned, this is a Metroidvania game that was released, I believe, in February 2020. So it's been around like over a year now. I started running it like I think March or April or so, and I just really enjoy it. So hopefully I'll try and explain what's going on in this as I get through it. But I probably forget some things, so feel free to like ask any questions in chat. And I'll try and give like time to ask answer questions during the run. But hopefully let's go ahead and start the run. So I'm ready in like 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so right off the bat, there's a few things to explain about how this game works. So we've got to the top left a bunch of indicators, which are a bit overwhelming at first, but basically this is just from top to bottom. We've got the health, shields, and energy. So the most important of these is really, well, obviously the health, we don't want to die. But energy is the other most important one. Shields we don't need to care too much about. But energy is going to be important later on, especially because whenever we do kind of special attacks or use abilities like grenade launcher and flamethrower, which we get later on, they use energy. So if we don't have any energy, we can't do those, and we need energy to kind of get through certain places to get certain items. So we're going to go ahead first of all and go to the first boss of the game, just down this valley here. Try and make no, it's not good. So this starts with a chase sequence, and then we'll actually fight with the boss itself. So we just need to watch out for a bunch of hornets that are spawning in random places on the route here. That's actually really good. 2 of them spawned right at the start, which means I don't need to care about them. And then there should be some more coming up soon. Yep, there should be 3 here. And then what we can do here is we can actually, so this boss is actually the ceiling. The thing on the left is just kind of giving us a lot of hazard. Oh, what's he doing? So what we're doing here is we are trying to hit the hive on the top by swinging just before the apex of the jump, and that does enough damage. Or basically, by the time the slash finishes, we're kind of at the apex of the jump, so we can actually hit the hive at the top barely. And that just does the fight probably like half the time as it would normally take if you just kind of shoot. But we're going to make our way down now into the purple holes, which is the next section of this planet. And we've got a couple of items to get here, but we can't get all of them yet until we get some abilities, so we're coming back here later, once we actually fight the final boss of this planet, quite kind of much later on in the run. But feel free probably to like read, if you have like one donation or if you have any questions from chat, feel free to like go through one. We've probably got enough time here, I would say.
I do have a question. Oh, sorry, I have a donation from Adalor, our commentator from the previous run, for $25. There is no comment. But thank you, Adalor, for both your previous commentary and for the donation. Also, just to let you know, chat is discussing your fursona.
Oh no. Thank you. I will keep quiet about it for now, but I can answer any questions about that probably after the run, I would say. Alright, so we've got our first health upgrade here. Also, you probably, I don't know if you saw me do it just earlier there, but in the start of the room, what we did was we took a quick damage boost off the worm at the start. That's not good. To basically skip having to cover worm, which takes probably 6-7 seconds. So just doing a damage boost off there saves a bit of time in that room. Let's not fall here. I'm going to try for a cycle skip here. We have to kill this enemy from far enough away, otherwise it wakes that big one, that kind of big mushroom creature up kind of wakes it up too late, and so it moves to the left, so we try and manipulate it to not move to the left there so we can do that skip there. It takes about a second. And we're going to get our first ability here, which is the dash thrusters. So these tiny gaps you see here, we can actually dash through them now. This is going to be very useful just for moving around fast, because we want to be dashing whenever we can. And in particular, we want to also be jumping whenever we can out of a dash. So like just before the dash ends, you see me not here, but whenever the space, we'll try and just be careful in this room. We'll be trying to jump as soon as the dash ends so that we can get a tiny bit of momentum boost, just to keep momentum from the dash. And up here, we've got our next boss. So this will be Thornhorn, which gives us the wall jump. And we're just going to deal with him by doing basically 3 special attacks. One here, get inside his hitbox, and then just keep doing a triple combo on him. And he should be almost dead now, and one more special attack should do it, and there we go. So the reason that works is when we're inside his hitbox and we're doing the triple combo, because of the kind of the delay on our iframes, we get hit right at the end of doing the third hit, and so we actually are able to start the combo again. Oh, it's not good. We're able to start the combo straight away, so we're kind of able to do that faster than we would normally be able to do if we have to wait for the animation to finish. But now we're going to go and get an item right at the start of the game again that we couldn't get without wall jump, and this is the second health upgrade. And then, spoilers, we are actually going to go and pet the dog right now. So I wouldn't normally do this early because I didn't know if the incentive would be met this early yet, but there's a chance to do it later as well. But we will be doing both times because people are crazy and it met the incentive before we even began, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and lose some fames, but save some animals by petting the dog. So we have to talk to the dog owner first, and then we can... There we go. Let's do it 3 times. I hope everyone enjoyed it, but we'll be coming back later for another 5 pets. Kind of like near the end of the run. Alright. So we need to watch out for this one. This boom is a bit tricky. What are you doing down here? Need to watch out for the flying monkey as well. There we go. That's fine. These enemies in this room can be tricky with positions, but I think we are now okay. Right, so this is the first of our nanobot boosts. So nanobots are not too relevant in this particular category. I should actually talk about... Hang on. We should actually talk about the category a little bit. So this is not 100% strictly. This is actually all collectibles. So 100% includes not falling off the edge. It also includes getting all the items available in the game mode, but it also includes like all the shop items as well as all the landing points. So like all the quick walk points. So in all collectibles, we don't get all of that. We just get the items you can find in the world. So it saves quite a lot of time on having to farm for money and just try and get damage boost. No. Alright, so we're going to do our next boss here. This is an optional boss that we can fight now or we can fight later on. We fight him now so that we can actually get his weapon early. And this does significantly more damage than the weapon we've currently got. So if it's the weapon he's using right now, and as you can see, my weapon is like not doing particularly much right now. We want his weapon so we can do some interesting combos, which we'll see soon. So we're going to get closer and hopefully do a special attack into him. 1, 2, 3. That should be good. And then do another special attack. And because we kill him on the same frame that we touch his weapon, like because we're in his weapon when it kind of spawns, essentially the cutscene stops our movement as well as the weapon pickup. But then the weapon pickup allows us to move again once it ends, so we can move before the cutscene ends. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it saves time for sure. Alright, so let's go ahead. Oh, that's not good. This Hornet is in that place. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the final of these 3 energy cells that we've been collecting around the treetops here. And then we're going to fight the final boss of the area for now. That's good positioning, so this allows us to just go straight for there, taking a bit of damage to boost for there. And opens up a door which we can go kind of like a convo to the boot around here to get to, and then we can fight final boss. So we're going to hope for good RNG here. This fight is very dependent on RNG because we want the boss to jump on the walls, which allows us to do our really fast damage combo. When he doesn't jump on the walls, we just kind of have to get really slow. That was not good. Get out of here. We want him to... we have to... If he doesn't jump on the walls, then we kind of have to damage him a bit more slowly here. So hopefully he does. If not, it's not the end of the world. It's not good. There we go, perfect. That's actually very good. So we're jumping, we're shooting him, and immediately slashing to animation cancel the shot, and he's dead. So imagine that, except he doesn't jump on the wall for like 15 seconds. And that's what that fight is. But now he's done, so that was pretty good actually. I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and go to the next banner here. We'll be returning back to Vinogama later, as I mentioned, and we'll be petting the dog again. I promise. But then later on will be the last time we see the dog, so I apologise for that. So before anything, we're going to get rid of these boxes for no particular reason yet, but it will come in kind of relevant a bit later on. So we're going to go ahead and get our next ability here, which is the hacking device. So we have to defeat a boss here. This is pretty much an auto-scroller, so feel free to read like a donation or ask any questions if you have any just while doing this. There's not much going on here.
I have 2 donations and 1 announcement. First
Sure,
of the
go ahead.
donations is from Lethlin for $48. This says, for your next event, you could use the tagline of Too Fast, Too Furious. Thank you for the puns that I know you're good for. And also with that $48, we have completed the goal to speak to Nuber. I also have a donation from Kind of Nerdy Housewife for $5. It says, "Hi FirebirdLover, here's a thing to read." And I apologize that I couldn't do that with your amazing Midwest accent. Finally, we have the announcement that 2 new goals have opened up for Donut County post-game Windows percentage run, and for Rhythm Doctor Play the Rhythm Dog Tour stage. Both games that will come later in our marathon. Please take it away, Ori Sky.
All right, thank you. So what we did there was we got the hacking device, which allows us to hack these. So you see on the ceiling there's like that red switch, but we don't need it. We can actually just do a dash jump to get a bit of momentum across that gap and entirely skip it. So we're going to go ahead and set up something for hopefully not get hit here. Nice. So we set up that kind of collapsing platform there for very late on the run. Once again, this is becoming kind of like a theme. We set up a bunch of things that are persistent in the game mode, and we'll come back to those later. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get our melee weapon, which is the one we're going to be using for the entire rest of the run. So these are the quad cutters we're going to get here. And you'll see here, these actually do like a double swipe instead of a single slash. So these do a bit less damage than sword, but because we do double swipe, you can actually do more damage overall. And these have an interesting special attack, which we'll actually see coming up in the boss in probably a few minutes. Trap that. So essentially, the special attack for this, rather than... Oh, that was weird. Rather than using like a bunch of energy rags at once to do a single attack, instead it activates kind of more damage, which drains over time. So it drains our energy over time. And so we're going to be using this on bosses, pretty much exclusively on bosses, to try and do as much damage as we can and keep regenerating our energy from hitting them. Also, hang on, I'm going to try and hopefully make a pixel perfect skip. Oh, we got it, nice. That was close. That was almost off cycle. So I think that's like either 1 or 2 pixel window, so that was pretty hard to make, but we made it. Otherwise, you have to go around the left side of the room to do that. Oh no! Don't fall down. It's really bad. Oh, hold on. There we go. So we're taking a bunch of these hidden shortcuts that the developers added, but you can use. So I didn't find this out until quite a bit late into this year, but you can actually use those to skip like a bunch of minutes that you normally have to go and activate the switch for. So it's super useful. So we're going to, in this room, just very briefly, we're going to do a thing called a coyote jump. So you notice that I dashed right off the edge there, and I've got a tiny window where I can actually do a jump after I leave the ledge. And so normally I'd bonk my head off the, I guess like the post there, but because we can jump just after leaving the ledge, we can actually just barely make that jump, skipping the right side of the room. Also, if you have any, feel free, like this room's quite long, so feel free if you have any announcements, donations, anything to do now, because I don't have much to say in this room.
Understood, thank you. We do not have any new donations at the moment, but if you are just tuning in, this is Fastest Furs Spring Spectacular, raising money for OAR, the Organization for Autism Research. Your donation will be put to immediate use to fund research, deliver resources, and support their major programs. 83 cents of every dollar you contribute directly funds their programs, and all donations are fully tax deductible. For more information, please visit www.researchautism.org or use the command !charity in the chat. Thank you very much.
Alright, so we've got our next boss coming up here. So this is where we see the combo that I mentioned with the quadcutters and the plasma avenger that we got. Most notably, so we're going to activate special attack here, so kind of go red, and we're going to jump, shoot, slash, just repeatedly on this boss, and we're going to try and avoid taking damage on the floor, which we just did. So I'm going to try and time the jumps here so we take damage from the missiles in the air, so that we don't actually get interrupted on the ground, because any damage we take in the air, we don't actually get animation cancelled, which is why we're able to just kind of keep doing the combo there. And that's the boss dead. And now we have our next ability, which is the air dash thrusters. So you'll notice instantly this actually allows us to double jump and dash in the air. So it's super useful. It's like 2 abilities in 1, which is really good. And we're going to quickly take a fall, which I promise was intentional, before getting our next health upgrade over here. And then returning back over to the right again. And we're going to go ahead and make our way. So where we are right now is we're at the top left of the rooftops. And we have to go basically all the way around to the right side of the rooftops. We have to take this kind of elevator down to the very bottom first. And go back around. So this will take a lot of bit of time. So there's not too much to talk about here, but I can probably talk... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I can probably talk really briefly here about something that I guess I call fast climbs. So in this game, you've noticed me grabbing onto these ledges quite a lot. Also, give me a second. I need to try and make this jump if I can. I'll try it once more. There we go. Don't know why that didn't work, but we got it that time. So fast climbs. So when you kind of grab onto a corner, essentially there's a small pixel window, I guess. I don't know if it's a pixel window or a frame window, but there's a small window where you can kind of... So I did it there. When you grab onto the corner, you can sometimes jump straight up after grabbing it, so like on the same frame. And so it saves about half a second every time you do that. So I'm going to try and aim for fast climbs whenever I can. If not, it's not the end of the world, but it does lose time for sure by missing one. I might do a quick save actually, because my health is not the best right now. Should be okay, but I might just, in case. I did not want to die and lose all progress I've made.
Do we have a moment for a donation here?
Yep, sure, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Just received a donation from BDragon28 for $150. Ooh. Yes. As someone on the spectrum who came out publicly as a scaly less than a week ago, this event holds a special significance to me in multiple ways. Thanks for being an awesome, welcoming community. Let's smash that $9,000 goal. And speaking of that, smashing that goal, we're already at $597. Thank you.
Nice. That's insane how fast we're raising money here. This is really great. Thank you, everyone. Alright, I'm going to try and make the cycle. Nice. Right, so there's an item in this room that we are going to use this exploding crate here for. So the game kind of hints at it right now, but if you don't get it, then you actually realize later as well when the game kind of forces you to use these. But what you can do is you can destroy the drone just when it's about to, like, kind of over the grate here, and then you can just destroy that to get the item earlier than having to get the grenade launcher, which we will be getting soon. Oh, I missed the cycle. That's not good. So I was trying to get a cycle, but what? Oh no. Okay, I need to wait for the box again. Don't know how that hit the box there. That's fine. So I was trying to get a cycle there where the drone would pick up the box and I would be able to make it across there before the kind of box got dropped to the drone. Unfortunately, I had to wait 2 seconds. So just making across here. We're about to get to the final boss of this planet soon, by the way. But we've got a few items to get before then. So we're going to try and jump. Perfect. Nice. What? Not too bad. Ideally, we get both of those in the same cycle. Doesn't save too much time, though. It's fine. Right, so this room we're going to try and beat a cycle on this box coming over here. So hacking that switch starts these boxes spawning, so we want to try and press the switch immediately. Take the damage from this to avoid them shooting the box, which also blows it up. And then quickly try and hit the switch, which we managed to do in time, so the box comes down here and shoots it and it goes up while it's in here. Also, that's actually really great. So we got good damage here as well. So that missile launcher above me, which I'm using to get in here kind of cheekily, that doesn't always spawn. So sometimes I have to come in here like 5 or 6 times for it to spawn, which is ridiculous. But we managed to get it first try, which is great. I'm going to wait. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I still got it. Very nice. Okay, that's good. I need to wait again. So we've got our next boss coming up right here. This is the final boss of Zakuma 7. And we're going to try for a sneaky trick here. So what we're going to try and do, I won't be able to talk in the fight itself, but we're going to try and kill him on the same frame as we land from a double swipe. On the first swipe, if that makes any sense. So this will actually, if we do it right, it will skip the second phase. If we do it wrong, we'll start to fight him. Alright, he's gonna jump. Jump again, I guess. He's going to run at me. Did we get it? I think we did. No, we didn't. It was like a frame too late, I think, unfortunately. Taking a bit too much damage from him, happy for, but he's dead. So that's absolutely fine. So the second phase is quite dangerous because if he grabs you while he's running, he throws you into the spikes and they do quite a significant amount of damage, like probably like a third of my health bar. So I would have died if he grabbed me there, but that's absolutely fine. Alright, so we now have a grenade launcher by the way, so you saw me use it just then. We're not going to return yet because we've got a bunch of items to clean up before going back to the ship. So I'm going to quickly grab the suit, try and grab the suit here, if we can. Please. This is a difficult jump to make, for sure. There we go, perfect. Not too bad. So at this point, there's not much to talk about, so feel free if you have any donations, any questions in chat, to go ahead, and I will be happy to.
No currently new donations. No important questions in chat that I can find, but just wanted to let people know that in case they have missed any part of this run, or in case they have missed any of the previous runs, you can always watch our videos on YouTube. They will all be posted there shortly after the end of the marathon. Just type !YouTube in chat for a link. Subscribe now and get notifications on when all of those appear in the next few days. Thank you very much, Ori.
This room's giving me some trouble here. Okay, we're up. So we actually went through this room the opposite way you meant to go through, by using that kind of spike damage which I did just there. Oh, that's not good. Jump, please. So normally you're meant to actually go from the right side and then activate a switch, which is to the right over here. And then you kind of get ambushed. Oh, that's not going to drop. And then you have to go down to get out of there. But we just did it the opposite way because we used the door for shortcuts. That was earlier to skip the door. So we like to go fast in this game. Right. So we're almost at the end of Zakuma 7 for now, at least. Try and avoid getting hit by this grenade. Never mind. That'll always give me trouble. And then we're going to return back to our ship and get our next mission. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to Verdant Gamma now. Get a bunch of items. This will be almost all the items of Verdant Gamma, but not quite all of them. We're getting one more later on. And then that'll be us done. So first of all, we're going to go and try and avoid these hornets. That's some really good energy, thank you. Please watch out. Nice. So because we got the suits just earlier, where we got Collectibles as well, this means we can move very fast underwater, which allows us to go through this next room coming up, just down here, pretty fast. But we are going to try and go slowly enough to hopefully avoid having to climb up. Hold on, let me. Oh, barely. Nice. Okay, that's pretty hard to make. I've only made that like 3 or 4 times in the time of running this game. So I'm happy about that. Right, so that item there is actually probably the most useless item in this speedrun because it lets you know if it's an item that's hidden in the current room, which I already know where all the items are, so it's not particularly useful for me. But we still have to get it, and it's probably the most out of the way item, so we use it now. Getting spider grip here. Spider grip comes in handy a couple of times, but it's not too useful. It just kind of allows you to grab onto walls without having to slide down. Alright, so we're going to go and... So you recognize some of these rooms again, but we're actually taking fast routes up here now that we have more abilities. So you can see we can just get up here really fast with wall jump using the upper right of the room. And then we're going to go to the left and get dash kick boots. So this dash kick boots is actually very important, in particular coming up kind of once we get a few more abilities on the next zone we go to. I'll talk about it more once we get to there, though. It's not too important right now. Oh, what's that? Actually, that reminds me. I'll show you off. I'll show off when I can. Just a really quick animation. I actually probably can't yet. I'll find the time to do it at some point. If you dash twice in the same kind of frame, there's some weird animation glitch that happens. Not too important though. But we are coming up onto our final boss of Blood and Gamma again over here. So this will actually be the stranger again that we fought earlier. But he will take his mask off and actually do more damage to us and stuff. But we can still kill him. It's fine. So do a quick safety save here. And this also gives us his energy back as well. And this boss actually is, because the stranger is not high enough for us to do our combo right where we jump, shoot, slash, slash. So we're just going to activate special and then just do moving slashes on him. So we'll do it as follows. We can't actually do these unless we got special active, so we have to do special to do these as well. He's not taking much damage here. Okay, when he jumps, actually good. Alright, there we go. Not too bad. Now we have his weapon, which we actually don't want. We want to switch that back as soon as we can to the quad cutters. The blade, I used to use it, but it's actually really slow. So I used to use it for some bosses, but I just find the quad cutters are a lot better, generally for doing more damage, faster. Alright, so we're at the next zone, which is Researcher Delta here. This is actually probably the most, I would say the most kind of Metroidvania-ish kind of zone, because there's a lot of places to go, kind of lots of different branching routes, and you can kind of make your way using different... how do I say it? Like, there's a bunch of things you have to do here, but you can do them in kind of any order, which is very interesting. It seems to design so that you can go and get one item, and then you kind of have a better route to get another item after that. There we go. Nice. But otherwise, there's not much to talk about just yet. There will be soon, but you probably have time for one donation or one question, if there are any right now. If not,
we have a donation. Came from Just Fruit Salad, someone who will be running 2 games for us later in the marathon. It is a $20 donation with the simple comment of "We game."
Oh, watch out! You could probably do one more, I'd say, if you have any.
None at the moment. Just a reminder.
Sure. Okay.
If you want to donate, type !donate in the chat, please.
Alright, so we're going to get an item here, which is very important. So we went out of our way specifically to get this item, because we're going to go back where we came. But watch what this item does. This allows us to move really... Also, there's the glitch I was talking about, by the way. It allows us to kind of do this... I don't know what it is, I guess T-posing almost. If we just kind of tap dash twice there... Whoa. Also, we need to be a bit careful here not to fall. There we go. Perfect. Also, I hope you enjoy warning sounds. That's all I'll say. We've got a few of them coming up in these rooms. So this allows us to dash just infinitely on the ground as long as we hold it down. And so this is actually really useful in combination with the dash kick boost, because we can just, as well as shadow dash as well, because we can just dash through basically everything in the room as long as we've got some energy. So you see us using this quite a lot coming up. Okay, nice. Yeah, we can kind of ignore most of the enemies now. And Whisper specifically anyway. Hopefully, no, that's fine. Just trying to get the perfect jump in there. So you probably noticed I dropped a grenade there. That's because we come back here in just a little bit here after the next boss. We'll be coming down and dropping down that route there, taking a teleporter to the bottom of the facility. But before then, we're going to the very top to fight the next boss. And this is break this open as well for reasons that I'm not allowed to disclose yet. And keep on continuing. So we get that save point there. We actually don't need to get it because of our health, but we do need to get it because we need to return here later. Please. And this room is also one of the most annoying for me, but I think we got through it just fine. There we go, perfect. Please, let me up. Okay, and now we've got our next boss. Drop straight into it. And this is actually a double boss, so I think they are called the duo in this game. So we have to try and kill Sanmei first if we can, because they cause the most damage to us. And there we go. And then Battle Strike actually drains their energy, which is not good, because that deactivates special. So we can't do as much damage now. Like one more cycle should be it. Grenade. There we go. And now we have the Power Void. So this isn't too useful, but you can see it destroys these barriers, which is the main use that we use it for in this one. We also need to actually do that damage to like the final boss of this area. But for now, we're going to go and take the teleporter down to the very bottom and grab a bunch of items here, and also open a gate that we need to open as well. Let's avoid getting hit here. Nice. If you have any announcements or anything, you probably have time for one, I'd say, before anything else.
Nothing new on our end. Just
okay, sure.
Just rooting you on and hoping that you'll get your best run.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, I missed it. That's fine. I was trying to get a perfect dash through that block, but it didn't work. Alright, so grabbing a health upgrade up here. I used to grab this after the switch fire hit, but I think it's faster grabbing it before because it saves just a bit of time, because it allows us to dash straight into the next room. So here's the switch I mentioned earlier. So that opens up that gate, which we're not seeing yet, but we will see later on. Well, we won't see it because it's open now, but you know what I mean. And just returning back up here. We're going to go into our next boss, by the way. This boss kind of just comes up on you without... Oh, be careful. Without warning. Try and make it up here without falling. Nice. Also do not want to get hit here, otherwise it's bad. There we go. That's actually okay. Took a damage boost, so we can dash onto the wall. And then our next boss is coming up in this next room just here. So let's... Oh, let's not do that yet. Hold on. I need to give a view. And you recognize this kind of style of robot here, so it's kind of similar to the one we fought earlier, except not as powerful. Although it does a lot more damage with all its attacks. But it's dead, because we just kind of stand in its face and do the combo that we did earlier. And now we have the flamethrower. Sorry, the drone flamethrower, as it's actually called. This allows us to use our drone to fire, well, to fire fire out of our drone, I guess. It's kind of redundant. But this is kind of necessary for some places to get items. It's also to... Oh, did the wrong thing there. Also to get into certain kind of doors in this area here. Speaking of which, we are in ore base. This is the planet below the research facility. So we actually have to grab a bunch of items here, as well as destroy some pipes that are polluting the planet. And once we've done that, we can actually escape again. I missed my grenade, unfortunately. So I have to go back in there again. Alright. So grab the next nanobot boost. And there's an item hidden here before we go back up again. Nice spawn. Oh, please. These enemies are invisible, by the way. We get an item that can let us see them later, but we can't see them yet. Although they always spawn in the same place, so we just have to be a bit wary of them. Please. To try and get that's fine, I guess. Alright, getting our second drone upgrade here just increases the firepower of it, which is not particularly important. It's actually detrimental to us because it can cause problems in the final boss of this planet. But kind of just routing wise, it's probably best to get it now. I'm going to return back up here. So these are the... So I didn't mention it, sorry, but these fire doors are the ones we need to... Please, yeah, let's just do this, I guess. these fire doors open for like a short time and then they close again. So we want to try and do what we want to do inside those as quickly as we can so we can get back out. But unfortunately that enemy gave us a bit of trouble. So we had to open again. Right, so we've got 2 pipes left to destroy actually. So we're coming down to them now. There's one in the right side there, which we don't get yet. We'll get some energy back first from the next health upgrade. Coming up to the next room. We're going to go ahead and try and make a jump. Nice, barely. And just down here is the second last health upgrade of the run. Also, by the way, we're coming up very soon on... I went the wrong way. Coming up very soon on the Pet the Dog Mark II. That'll be right at the end of this planet, by the way. So this is where I would normally say it's time to close the incentive, but everyone decided to meet the incentive before we even began the run, which is insane. So thank you for that. Alright, coming up on the next boss in just probably half a minute here. So we're going down the hole that I actually made earlier in this room. And we're in the dark now, but we can dash through this tiny corridor here, taking us straight to the bottom of the planet. And this is kind of unique boss because we're going to grab the special visor first before we do the boss, and this actually allows us to see where the boss is. So this, obviously, so you see the room is lighted up now, and this actually allows us to see kind of hidden items as well. So what we're to try, this is not good energy, I guess, it's fine. We're going to try and manipulate that kind of parasite, phantom parasite, to go into enemies that are close to me, which it's not doing, unfortunately. Because it moves at a constant speed, so we're trying to get it to move the smallest distance we can. These are really bad spawns, man. Good. Yeah. Hopefully... that's fine, I guess. It's the only one here. 2 more hits, I believe. Where are you going? Should go into this one. There we go. Not a bad fight. So we're going to return back up where we came from. That's not good. Also, you would never know from the speedrun, but this planet actually has a bunch of teleporters that take you to various places, but we don't actually use them because it's faster not to. Ironically enough. Nice, there we go. I used to use them, but until we discovered we can actually just grenade launch at the very starting them and just go the opposite way you meant to get the final pipe. Oh, we already talked to him, that's fine. Right, so returning back to Verdant Gamma now. There's something interesting that happens here. I don't know why it happens. Don't ask me. I won't know. But we're going to go back over to Verdant Gamma again to get the final item, as well as Pet the Dog. We skip this cutscene, and because we skip it while we're in the thing, I mean, this kind of speaks for itself, but we're invisible now, which is kind of hilarious. I can't see myself, hold on. So it almost makes things harder in a sense, but it's definitely faster to skip it, so, you know, it's worth doing. Right, so grabbing the final item here, this is just under Verdant Gamma now, so that gives us 10% movement speed. I can't see what I'm doing, I was grabbing the wall there. Please. Oh no, this is terrible. Hopefully that's fine, that should be fine, yep. And now we're going to pet the dog for the last time, so everyone be ready. And something interesting here, so we're invisible, but because we pet the dog actually has special powers, but I can find it. Makes us visible again. The dog is able to make us visible, which is really good. Alright, one more time, and say goodbye to the dog. We are done forever with the dog now. I apologize. We are going to go to Coma 7 now, and clean up the final items here. Feel free if you have any donations at this point, because there's not much to talk about here. Feel free to read them out.
I have a timely donation, no less. It is from Oasis in the amount of $52.
Nice.
And the comment is, funny you should say that, the comment is, I like nice numbers, with a smiley face.
Nice.
And that was put forth to naming the Baldur's Gate character Booper.
Alright, so we've got the rocket launcher here. We don't actually use this apart from now because we would have to actually spend time switching away from it. But we do use it for one boss, just as kind of like a backup in case we have trouble with it. But otherwise, we are just going to go ahead and, as you can see, all the boxes are gone here. We got rid of those way earlier, and it makes those rooms just super easy because we can just dash through them all. And funny thing here, the next stream coming up, I actually discovered something literally 2 hours before the run that saves a bit of time here, so which I'm going to have to keep a bit of energy here, hopefully. So, get rid of you. I need to have at least 20 energy here to do it. So we're going to do a shadow dash through here. Oh no, please. There we go. Phew. So there's a trigger there that closes that door, and you have to hack it open. But doing a shadow dash through there actually just, skips it, I guess. I don't know why, but it does. So I discovered that like 2 hours ago, which is great. Saves like 5-6 seconds. And now we're finally going to return back, once again, switch weapon away here, to the research facility, and we're going to fight 3 bosses in a row. We're going to fight the assassin first, which we need the special visor to actually see, but we can technically kill without the visor, but it's, it's kind of not really worth it. Very difficult. So just getting through all these rooms, and now we've got the assassin here. Please. These are like really bad dashes right now. I should probably heal just in case. Taking a bit too much damage there that I'm happy with. No, this is like way too much damage. That's fine though, the assassin's almost dead. One more combo and it should be dead. Nice. And then we've got our next boss coming up in just 2 rooms as well. And you'll notice here, this is the gate we opened earlier. So you get in here and then you realise, oh, there's a gate I need to open. But thankfully we opened it earlier. Nice. Let's try and get out of here. So these doors you actually can't open until you get special visor, which is why we didn't go here until now with a hacking device. So we come here now, and we can now go and fight the next boss, which is actually called Mima. So we fight Mima followed by Maximum Mima. I don't know if that's actually how it's pronounced, but that's how I pronounce it, because this boss has been a bit too deadly to me too many times. Right, so Maximum Mima is right here now. Prepare to be memed on, it's the tagline here. So this boss is actually quite difficult. I'm going to try and focus here. Nice. The hands do that the first time, they throw you off, but then you can get a bit more damage on the second time here. And we're going to try and get to almost half health, like just above half health, and then just do a big combo on the boss. Well, that's not good. Hopefully the hands come down again. Perfect, that's actually really good damage, thank you. That should be good, I think. Oh, get out of here. Nice. So now we can just probably do a combo. Oh, here. Okay, that was actually really good. I got lucky there with a hand. And so that's the boss dead. So we've got one final boss to go here for now, anyway. Before we then go to the final planet. Let me get rid of this enemy first of all. This is where we use the rocket launcher, by the way, just in case we need to do more damage. So the second phase of this boss actually requires you to do explosive damage, so you need energy to do that. So the rocket launcher is actually really good for that because you don't need energy. Trying to do as much damage as we can in this first phase to get her to stop on the... Oh, that's... come here. Oh, well, that's just great. That's the worst place to be. My drone shot her and did the final bit of damage. That's typical. So this is where the rocket launcher comes in very handy to do a bit more damage. But these sprites do give us some energy whenever we kill them. So you see the tiny green things that they drop. Please. This is not ideal. There we go. So I wanted to stop on either the left or right side of the room so we could just bounce the grenades off the sides and have them hit her. But that was okay, I guess. So we've got a bunch of cutscenes here before our next planet. the icy moon. Alright. So go ahead. So bear in mind, both our weapons are not what we want them to be right now, so we're going to switch them back to the trusty combo. So let's go ahead and do that now. Feel free if you have any donations now, because we're just going to be collecting a bunch of items here on the icy moon.
Perfect timing. We just got a donation from Mr. Jerky. Says, I also enjoy nice numbers. Good luck to all the runners and staff. Amazing showing so far, and can't wait for the rest. And that donation was in the amount of $21. If anyone else in chat really likes nice numbers and wants to donate to make these numbers as wonderful as possible, just type !donate in chat to get to our donation page, !incentives in chat to learn about our incentives, and !prizes in chat to learn about the prizes you can win by being so generous.
Alright, thank you. So we've got our next boss coming up just here in the next room, just below. So we actually used a flame dash just there to destroy the ice. And I'm going to drop down here and go and fight the abyssal monster. So this is an optional boss, but this, I think it's like the only optional boss really, but this actually drops the green flamer, which allows all our fire abilities to do green flame instead, which does more damage. Hopefully we get the cycle. No, it's unfortunate. I'm going to wait here, I guess. There we go. There we go. Not too bad. That boss can do, as far as I can tell, it can do like one of two cycles there, or one or two attacks, I guess. One of them, it kind of only spawns for a little while. One of them, it spawns for ages and ages, so we can just kind of deal lots of damage to it and kill it in one cycle. Unfortunately, we got the bad one there, which is kind of typical. But that's fine. Now we have the green flame. Oh! No! It's a series of unfortunate events there. So yes, now we have a green flamer, which allows us to do more damage with our flames, but also, in particular, allows us to do flame damage underwater. And that comes in handy for exactly one item that we need to get back on the research resourcing. So we're going to be turned there as soon as we can. Try and get... So that's our final item on the icy moon as well, by the way. So we are going to go and open a door over here into the final boss area. But before we do that, we're just going to stand at the save point and go over to the research resourcing. So... I don't know what those enemies are doing over there. They decided to spawn, but I'm just in the save point, just ignoring them, so it's fine. If you're in a save point, all the enemies just stop attacking you, which is great. So we just use that to skip the gauntlet of enemies there, which is nice. Oh, please. Wow. So grabbing our final weapon just up here. Hopefully make a cycle here if we can. Oh, not quite. Well, try to save him if we can. Hopefully make it this time. Nice. That's quite tight. It's not really timing based. It's more just like you have to do a max height jump, to be honest with you. So if you even let go of a jump for like one frame, not good. That's fine. Oof, I got scared. And we're coming up on the arc power beam here, which is the final weapon. Oh, follow, please. There we go. So that kind of spawns a similar gauntlet of wizards and stuff that you have to kill. Not too bad though. You can just use grenades to dispatch them quite quickly. And that's our final weapon of the game. So I won't get to show this off much, but you will see this actually just fires a sine wave at enemies. So I like to think it just kind of deafens them to death. I got the wall. Nice. So we did use this to get the item here really quickly by breaking the floor. And then hopefully we're going to make a corridor here. Let's try. This looks good if it actually make it. Not quite. Trying to get down that one wide gap there. If you make that, you just kind of go flying down, which is kind of looks hilarious. Alright, so we've got a few items left to go in the run before we are done. So open a few doors here. And there's actually an item to the left in that room right there, but we're going to come back up here later on to get that. And before we do, we'll grab this. You probably have time for, if you have any donations, you probably have time for one, I'd say, if you have any.
Well, okay, I got a donation from Sarth the Sneck for $100, and as I've warned chat, it is puns incoming.
Oh no.
Hiss, hiss, if there is one thing I can see are the games being shattered and the pain people have gone through to go fast. Microsoft. $100 to Windows percentage for Donut County.
Alright, so this is our, I believe, our third item. The third last item we've run, I believe. I might be wrong on that. We've got a couple more to go up here. If I can actually jump. There we go. So, with all the items we... Oh, hang on. With all the items, we should, I believe, have 81%. And then our final percentage here will be 84%, which does not include the shop items again, and it also doesn't include the all the landing points that we don't get. We actually get almost all of them, but we miss one of them on Tacoma 7 because it's kind of out of the way. Right, so making our way up here. Did we get the? Yes, we did. So the final item is just in here, and that should be our 81%. Let me just check to make sure. Yep, that's actually perfect. Did not miss an item for once. The kind of running joke is I always miss an item every time I run this showcase or anything, which is not good, but thankfully we didn't do it this time. So we're going to return back to the Icy Moon now and fight the final boss. So the final 2% comes... Oh, sorry, we got 1% from our landing point there, and final 2% will come from the final save point just before the boss. Let's wait for enemies to move a tiny bit. I will focus a bit for these last few rooms because it's kind of like a gauntlet of difficult enemies. So... Oh, please. That might be fine. Yep, that's actually perfect. I think we should be good here. Oh, please. Okay, we're good. Thankfully, we got a good spawn, so that wizard teleported into the bomb, which is great. So it just died instantly. Otherwise, it can cause us lots of problems. Anyway, now that's 84%, so we have all we need. And this is the final boss, phase 1. So we're going to try and not do that, please. Try and lay as many fire as we can on the floor. And phase 1 is already done. So as you can see, green flame just does way too much damage. And now phase 2. This is her final form, I guess you could say, because it actually looks like Frieza as well from Dragon Ball Z. So we're trying to farm energy from her whenever she's up there and trying to hit as many grenades as we can. Didn't actually get too much damage there, which is unfortunate, but I think we're okay. So she'll teleport around every quarter of a health bar, roughly. She sometimes delays it a bit based on what attack she's actually doing, so she'll probably do one soon again. Need to wait for that. Try and get some damage in if we can. We can probably skip a cycle maybe? No, maybe not. So this is the halfway cycle here. Also, time will be coming up, by the way, once I stab her while she's on the ground, so be ready for that. Oh, please. Oh, no, not quite. It's like one head away. Alright, time's coming up. And time, there we go. Oh.
Good game.
Just to confirm. Thank you, yes. Just to confirm, it should show 84% at the end here. If it doesn't, I've made a terrible mistake, but hey, it's fine. Alright, perfect. Okay, I did it right. For once. So that was Mindseize. Thank you so much, everyone who donated for the Paper Dog Incentive. Thank you again. And thank you, Fastest Spurs, for having me on here again as well.
Thank you for doing this run. We very much appreciate it. You did an amazing showcase there. I believe that plenty of people are talking about potentially buying this game in the chat, so...
I would definitely recommend this game for sure. This is a great Metroidvania for sure, if you're into that kind of game.
Do you have any last comments to say before you go?
If you're interested in speedrunning this as well, currently it's only me speedrunning this, so I'm the only person in the community right now. But feel free to like message me wherever you want, like on Twitter, Discord, etc. And if you're interested in speedrunning this, I can try and help you out and stuff. It'd be great to get a bigger community, for sure. This is a great fun game to speedrun.
All right. Once again, thank you, and once again, congratulations.